Thank you for joining today's showcase. I'm Jo, co-founder of Culture Stretch, and today we are going to focus on the secret behind great talent, and more specifically, how the PXT Select assessment solution can help you select and develop great talent. I want to start our session today with a question. What percentage of people that you've hired or chosen for a promotion or a new role turned out to be great talent? Someone who got up to speed quickly and effectively, drove results, exceeded expectations, they're productive, satisfied, enhanced your team's culture, and they're engaged. Why is it that some people selected or promoted, placed into new roles are great talent? How do they become great talent? And why is it that others end up mediocre and do not succeed in the position? So I'd like you to think about a person who you've experienced in your role that was successful, that exceeded expectations and are on the journey to be called towards becoming a great employee. Okay, now you've got that person top of mind. I have another question. What's the one thing that you learned about that person who was successful and exceeded the expectations? What did you learn from that experience? And what is the one thing that you learned or experienced from the person who wasn't successful? Look, I imagine there are certain factors that lead to one experiencing success in a job and one failing in a job. But actually, it's all about talent. And Louis Holtz is a former American football player, coach, and analyst. I believe this quote sums up success and failure. Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you are willing to do it, and your attitude determines how well you will do it. So what if you could know prior to hiring, promoting, or placing someone in a role how well they match the opportunity available? Or once placed in a role, you could equip the new manager with actionable data to accelerate performance and help that person develop to their full potential. So in our session today, we will learn how to avoid missing the mark in talent management decisions, key strategies for helping managers select and develop their talent to full potential, the full value actually of PXT Select's suite of reports in talent selection, onboarding, coaching, team effectiveness, skills development, and career pathing. Now, whether you're hiring from the outside or you're moving talent around within your organisation, making the right selection decision is important. And with day one rights coming, even more now than ever. Matching people with the positions they're likely to succeed in unlocks the ability of individuals and teams and leaders to perform at their best and drive organisational results. And here's what we believe, that some organisations hire the wrong people and fail to nurture and engage the right people because they lack the right information to make that informed talent decision. And we've learned from the experiences of our colleagues at Wiley, their clients, and our clients, that the secret behind great talent is job fit. Now, according to Harvard Business Review, the job fit approach accurately predicts job success more than any of the commonly accepted factors such as education or experience or on-the-job training. So what is job fit, you're probably asking? Well, job fit is the degree of congruence between an individual's cognitive ability, their behavioural traits, and motivational interests in a job and work environment in relation to the open position. And when a person's characteristics fit those required by the job, then the organisation benefits from a good job fit. When you measure talent through the lens of a job fit, you have the in-depth information to match candidates or incumbents with the roles that they're likely to perform at their best and full potential in. Predicting job success is the key here, and it leads to less turnover, money saved, and of course, increased productivity. Job fit provides you with the actionable data to determine if a person can do the job, how will they do the job, and will they enjoy the job? Every human being is motivated and driven by different influences, and job fit outlines the unique job-related qualities that make a person productive. And when it comes to job fit, most companies think they can accomplish meaningful work by focusing on skill fit, such as education, training, experience, or skills, and company fit, such as attitudes, values, appearance, and integrity. However, the reality is that in order for employees to truly find meaningful work organisations, you need to measure job fit. And when people fit the job, all those attributes that I've just mentioned, autonomy, empowerment, working well in teams, well, they have a high probability of being accomplished. And with job fit data, organisations have accurate and reliable information to predict future job success. So how does job fit actually work? Well, there are many tools to help organisations learn about their candidates or their incumbents, their CVs, job application, learned skills and experience, education, training, structured interviews, background checks, performance reviews. However, all of these focused on the past or current behaviour. None of these provide a comprehensive look at predicting an individual's future performance in a given role. Psychometric assessments that measure job fit are a great way to predict future success in a role and match talent to the opportunity to build successful teams and highly productive workforces. Jack Welch is a business executive, author, and a chemical engineer. You may know him as the chairman and CEO of General Electric between 1981 and 2001. And during his tenure at GE, the company's value rose by over 4,000%. He had shared that competency is not enough, that job fit is the key to better hiring decisions. Job fit is accurately and reliably assessed with a psychometric assessment. And PXT Select is a psychometric tool that measures job fit. Our clients tell us that PXT Select, that's a mouthful, is a complete game changer and an integral part of their talent selection and development process. PXT Select is a powerful tool designed to drive business results by connecting business strategy to talent strategy. So business strategy, where does the organisation need to go to achieve its goals? And talent strategy, what roles are needed? Who is the right fit for these roles? How can people be engaged to develop their full potential? But our solution helps organisations answer the who and the how by aligning people to roles based on the traits most important to perform those jobs successfully and nurturing them to full potential. And when this is achieved, the organisation benefits. There's high performance, low turnover, employee satisfaction, high engagement. So let's get a little bit into the weeds of how PXT Select measures success by understanding someone's cognitive skills, that's their thinking style, or behavioural traits or motivational interests. 20 different variables on the screen shed light into how people think and work and what interests them. And they're benchmarked against the role's requirements. The data collected from the PXT assessment is used to create a personalised candidate profile that provides insight about all 20 measures. And this can be done for every person that is being considered for the role or for your shortlist of candidates, enabling you to assess them objectively and with confidence, making a smart talent decision for your organisation. Now, the data collected from PXT assessment is used to create personalised candidate profile, and this is a snapshot of the candidate's traits benchmarked against the characteristics of someone who performed successfully in the job. The shaded areas, they show the positions ranges for each of the thinking style scales, and then you can see where the candidate on here, OC, Oliver Chase, falls in relation to the actual targeted area. Here you see the desired range of scores for behavioural trait scales and the candidate's results in each of those scales. And it also indicates the top motivational interests for the position and then for the candidate. Having a vision of what the ideal candidate looks like is extremely important. And if you don't know what you're looking for, how do you know if the person sat in front of you is the right person for the job, or indeed the wrong one? So this is why setting up job targets or performance models is important. These help to get everyone on the same page so they know exactly who they're looking for and the traits required to be successful. So, how are the performance models built? Well, there are three primary sources that may be used independently or together to build performance models. We recommend the Performance Model Library as a quick start source for identifying performance models, and you can use as is or as a starting point for your own custom models. The library was developed with current industry data and includes over 200 performance models. It says 185 there, but it's been updated. These models are representative of most jobs found in small or large organisations across a wide spectrum of industries. Now, you can customise any model to fit your organisation's unique requirements for a specific job, or our customisation tool can be completed by one or more individuals who supervise the position and who are very familiar with what is required to perform successfully in that position. Once completed, that data is combined with input from maybe other sources like the library performance model or your top performer data to build a new model that is then aligned to your own expectations. You can also replicate top performers. This approach allows you to use PXT assessment results from your organisation's top performers in a given position to build your own performance model. The benefit of this approach is you can easily spot future hires who share common traits with your most successful people, so you know exactly what to look for. And you can tap into your organisational culture and create a performance model unique to your job, your location or organisation. Some of the performance model building methods may be used alone or combined with the other methods. But the objective is to use the best information you have available to create the strongest performance model for assessing the fit. Now, matching talent to opportunity is truly powerful. And PXT not only helps you find the right people, but also helps you shape the overall employee experience. The PXT suite of reports helps you select, onboard, coach, and develop employees to real full potential. Matching talent to opportunity. PXT also provides you with 13 different reports and is adaptive to the organisation or individual, allowing a superior user experience. PXT Select meets or exceeds all measures for assessment, validity and reliability, and applies best practices in psychometrics as it follows the Department of Labour guidelines. So we have a full research report available, which can be supplied upon request. So we're now going to take you on a short talent journey using the PACE model. This is a framework that we're going to use to identify how actionable data from our suite of reports can enable managers to match talent to opportunity and then fully develop new hires and incumbents to their full potential. So let's start with the first three steps of our PACE model, PACE. This implementation framework. And here we're going to focus on the hiring and selection part of it. So in order to find the right people for the job, you must plan in advance the job requirements, as you would. Assess the candidates objectively by gathering personalised data from their assessment, and then choose the right person for the job based on what they bring to the table from what the job requires. Now, selecting great talent starts with knowing in advance what success actually looks like. So your first task is to select or develop a performance model. This is where the hiring manager and the HR practitioner must determine the characteristics required for someone to perform successfully on the job across the 20 different traits that include the cognitive ability, the behavioural traits, and the motivational interests. In essence, this determines a vision for the ideal candidate for the job. And it's important because you can identify who you're looking for and your benchmark, and you can benchmark your candidate against this ideal vision and then use the objective data to see if they fit or not. So next it's time to assess the person to understand what they bring to the table across these same 20 traits. Assessing your candidate or incumbent will provide you with objective, reliable, valid data. So let me introduce you to my candidate. This is Oliver Chase. He's applying for the role of product manager, and he is asked to take the PXT assessment to determine if he's a good fit for the role. Now, once he takes the assessment, his responses are summarised in the comprehensive selection report, as you see on the screen. This is a critical report in the selection process. It helps you understand where people's skills and abilities land on a scale from 1 to 10 on cognitive ability, on a spectrum with two ends of equal values on the behavioural traits and their top 3 motivational interests. On this page of the comprehensive selection report, you'll find the overall fit and how the candidate performed on the 3 sections of the assessment: thinking style, behavioural traits and interests. And for each section, there is a percentage fit to tell you how well the candidate aligns against the performance model. The overall percentage fit is derived from the fit calculations for thinking style, behavioural traits and interests. And the relative weight of each section is 40% for thinking style, 40% for behavioural traits and 20% for interests. Okay, let's get some of the details for assessing the candidate. Here you see the performance model for thinking style and all of these shaded areas in the green, and where the candidate's characteristics fall within that performance model. So here we're showing you 3 of the 5 thinking style traits. That's where you can see the candidate's initials, OC for Oliver Chase. A description of the scale is then provided, and guidance is provided so that you know what it means to fall at different points along the scale. Here you see a narrative description of the ideal candidate based on the range of the performance model for the numeric reasoning scale. And here you see a statement that the candidate fits the performance model. Now let's see what it looks like for the behavioural scales. On the screen, we're showing 4 of the 9 behavioural scales available. Again, you see the description below the scale. You also get additional descriptors for the endpoints. And here you see that the candidate's results will fall within the range of this scale. And the ideal candidate statement describes the candidate based on their fit to the range for this scale. So the candidate fits the performance model for this behavioural scale. That's easy to see that. When assessing candidates for a role, interviews are also really important. And that's why we provide you with interview questions that help you dig deeper and what to listen out for when you want to ask your candidates the questions, so that you can then make objective and well-informed selection decisions. These questions are based on the candidate's fit to the model, and a complex proprietary algorithm is used to determine their key challenge areas, meaning where they were farthest outside of the model. And it then provides questions related to the challenges that this particular candidate may face in the position. But it also highlights their strengths, where they fit best within the model, and again provides interview questions specific to the candidate and their fit. And if you want to go even further than their top strengths and their challenges, we also provide questions on all of the other scales specific to the candidate and how they may perform in the position. And to help guide the interview process further, we've also provided listen for tips. They're also generated via the complex algorithm, and that takes into account the person's scores and what it means for them against the performance model. So in this example here, we're looking at Oliver Chase's results. As you can see, he's a good match with a 79% fit to the project manager role. The higher the percentage number, the closer the fit. However, the selection process isn't always simple as one person, one position, and that's why we have additional reports to make informed talent decisions. So you also get a multiple candidates report, and this report allows you to compare the multiple candidates for a single position, but on one document, so you can choose the candidate who may be the best fit for the role. We've made the process of comparing candidates much simpler and much cleaner. You can see all of the candidates in a single glance against the performance model on each scale. And also the multiple positions report. So this report allows hiring managers to compare a candidate against other open positions that they didn't originally know about or happen to apply for. This is a great tool when you're hiring for multiple positions and need flexibility in how to move potential candidates around. And then from the same assessment results, so one assessment gives you all of this, you're also able to generate a leadership report. And this report provides invaluable insight into a candidate's leadership potential and their approach to meeting leadership challenges. It helps hiring managers understand how a candidate leads by providing narrative descriptions of an individual's key characteristics, including cognitive, behavioural and interests, and their personal strengths and challenges as they relate to the 6 leadership skills. Also featuring tailored questions and tips on what to listen for with each candidate. And this report gives you a meaningful edge to your hiring process for future. So moving on, let's look at the development reports that are also a part of the PXT Select product suite. And they're used in onboarding and development. And with our suite of reports, managers can optimize the performance of their new employees or employees new to a role through onboarding, coaching, development that's specific to those job requirements. There are 4 reports that can be used for coaching and employee development. They are the coaching report, the manager employee report, the team report, and the leadership report. There are also a sales-specific suite of reports for the same reports that help you match candidates to sales-specific opportunities and accelerate the performance of the sales professionals. And lastly, you also gain an individual feedback and graph report to provide feedback directly to your candidate or new hire during the onboarding process. So if somebody takes the assessment but doesn't get the position, then you still have something to be able to give to them should they require it. So let's actually explore the coaching report. With this, your manager can help a new employee develop their full potential or help current employees identify their challenges and improve job performance. This report is excellent for coaching as a coaching resource and provides the narrative feedback about an employee, though it's written to the hiring manager instead of the employee. And as you can see in the results and the summary page shown here, it includes results from all scales of the cognitive behaviour, the behavioural traits and interest, and compares those scales to the performance model. Now, once we get into the body of the report, you will see detailed information about the employee for the composite score, which was the combined scale for thinking style section. And for all 9 behaviours, we're highlighting here the assertiveness scale. And for interests, all set against the backdrop of the performance model. So we've got the composite score, the assertiveness scale, and the interests all set against one performance model. So let's take a look at this in a deeper way. Starting with the composite score, this detailed information starts with an overview of the employee's thinking style results and what that means. Then it offers the manager relevant information about their employee, as well as tips to manage them, and a bottom line statement. So it also includes relevant information for all 9 of the behavioural scales. For example, in the accommodation scale here at the top, you'll see what you need to know about Oliver. Then there's management tips in the section to help guide the manager in working with Oliver. And finally, the bottom line statement. If you were just to pick one thing from this report to remember about this employee, it's this part. And we do this for interests also. You get the order of the employee's interests with a description. And there's also, again, a bottom line statement here for the one thing that you should be ready to remember about this person. Now let's look at the onboarding and development report. This report compares an individual's results with those of his manager, providing the manager has also taken the PXT assessment. As you can see here, this report shows an employee's results with their manager. There's no performance model here. It's a side-by-side comparison. And the report focuses on behavioural scales only. And as you get into the body of the report, you'll find narrative feedback on each behavioural scale. Like the coaching report, it is written to the manager rather than to the employee, and it has information on working together and the tendencies for the manager and the individual, as well as consider these tips. Now, at the end of the report, you'll find a summary and reflection page, which can help you pull all of this together for the managers in thinking about their relationship with the employee. And the managers often use this as a start to get off on the right foot with new employees and to build a more effective relationship with them. Here we see the team report. Once all of the team members have completed the assessment, if you choose to do that, it's really effective when you're starting to build sales teams, but other teams also. This report will help the managers and the employees address the group's dynamics in a constructive way. It's really designed so that each of the team member can receive a personalised report with the feedback written for them. But you will see here on this results summary page, there is a U. And for each scale, you'll see the distribution of the team members across the scale. And the U shown here is the team member whom the report is generated for. Like the other reports, you get more detail once you get into the body of the report. And you'll see a page like this for each of the behavioural scales. It's a great tool for teams to understand the similarities and differences within the team. So let's just check out this as an example. Imagine the young lady here is Rita Bauer, RB for her initials. On the assertiveness spectrum, she is on the far left of the team report, whereas Jim Miller, is on the far right of the report. There are four other team members, OC, Oliver Chase being one of them. They're in the middle. Now, in this instance, the team has many things to its favour. Individually, they're a great fit for the role, and together they bring different perspectives that are beneficial to the team. But the differences may pose some challenges. For example, look at the main paragraph there. I'll give you 10 seconds to have a quick read through. The part that says when it comes to assertiveness. Yeah, I'm sure you've skimmed over that really quickly. But when you get into that deeply, would you have predicted that any of these challenges just by looking at data? No, probably not. Would you have made a different decision, a different selection decision? Or would you still build this team and coach people to work well together? So this is what this part of the report, the team report, brings to you. In addition to selection, there is the leadership report that I briefly tapped on earlier. This report can also be used for talent development and leadership skills development. And with this report, you can gain such valuable insights into a candidate's leadership potential and their approach to meeting leadership challenges. This report provides narrative descriptions of an individual's key characteristics, including cognitive, behavioural traits and interests, and also their personal strengths and challenges as they relate to these 6 leadership skills. Okay, let's look at a report that focuses on just the candidate without the position information in there. This is the individual's feedback report. Imagine a candidate or new employee is asked to see their assessment results. This report is designed to serve that need. Like the other PXT Select reports, it has guidance and interpretation built right in, starting with an explanation of what the assessment actually measures. The individual graph report shows a participant's results on thinking style and behavioural trait scales, as well as their interests, as we've seen, giving a visual representation of the person's results. However, because this report doesn't give or guide interpretation, it's highly recommended that you provide it along with the individual's feedback report that you can see here. So you now have a deeper understanding of how your organisation can drive business results by optimising how to select and develop your talent through the lens of job fit. With a powerful and scientifically validated solution like PXT Select, you can leverage objective data on how people think and work so that you can predict someone's future success in a role, in a job, and make smarter talent decisions. So how ready are you to drive these business results? At Culture Stretch, we passionately believe in job fit and PXT. And PXT holds some of the secrets behind great talent, how to optimize your talent selection and development process, how to engage your workforce and drive results, reduce hiring bias, replicate top performers, decrease the cost of bad hires, and develop high-performing individuals and leaders. And when you match talent to opportunity and then equip and empower managers to coach and develop their employees, you're not just developing talent, we believe that you're actually creating great organisations. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me at joe@culturestretch.com. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.